Wojak is a 30-year-old man living in a modest apartment in the heart of the city. His alarm goes off at 6:30 a.m., pulling him out of the short, restless sleep he barely managed. Every morning feels like a battle, not just with the snooze button, but with the unyielding sense of emptiness that lingers over him like a dark cloud. Wojak's days are filled with small routines, each one as predictable as the last. But underneath the surface, there's a deep-seated struggle that few would understand. He makes his way to the kitchen, pours himself a cup of coffee, and stares out the window. Outside, people rush by, each one seeming to have a purpose, a destination. Wojak envies them, wondering if they too have hidden struggles, or if he's the only one who feels adrift. It's not that he lacks ambition. He once dreamed of doing something meaningful, something that would leave a mark. But life had other plans. After his coffee, he dresses in the same plain office clothes he wears each day, heading off to his 9-to-5 job. The job is a monotonous one, filling out spreadsheets and following instructions from people who don't even know his name. He feels invisible, like just another cog in the corporate machine. His co-workers exchange polite smiles and small talk, but Wojak rarely joins in. The emptiness within him makes it hard to connect, even when he tries. Lunch breaks are often the loneliest part of the day. Wojak eats his sandwich alone in the break room, scrolling through his phone. Social media bombards him with images of friends and acquaintances traveling, getting married, and living lives that seem far more vibrant than his own. Every photo, every update is a reminder of what he doesn't have and possibly never will. Despite his attempts to dismiss these feelings, the weight of them feels like a constant ache in his chest. The end of the workday is bittersweet. He's glad to escape the office, but going home doesn't bring the relief it used to. His apartment is small, with bare walls and minimal furniture, reflecting the emptiness he feels inside. He often wonders if anyone notices that he doesn't come home to anyone, that his phone rarely rings, or that his weekends are usually spent alone. Dinner is a simple meal, often something prepackaged or quickly put together. He sits in front of his laptop, watching a movie or browsing the internet, anything to fill the silence. Sometimes he thinks about calling an old friend or trying to rekindle connections he lost over the years, but the thought of reaching out, of explaining his life, feels too overwhelming. He doesn't want pity, he just wants someone to understand. As night falls, Wojak sits by the window, looking out at the city lights. Each window represents a different life, a different story. He wonders if anyone else feels as isolated as he does, if anyone else hides behind a polite smile during the day and fights their battles in silence at night. He thinks about his family, who live far away and don't really understand the struggles he faces. They often ask him why he isn't married yet, why he doesn't have children or a house of his own. He wishes he could explain that it's not a lack of effort, but rather a feeling of being trapped in a cycle he doesn't know how to break. Finally, exhausted, he crawls into bed, hoping tomorrow will be different, but knowing deep down that it probably won't be. His life is a series of days that blend into one another, each one filled with a sense of longing for something he can't quite name. He falls asleep to the hum of the city outside, wondering if there's more to life than this quiet, persistent ache he carries within him. And as he drifts into another restless sleep, a single thought crosses his mind. Maybe, just maybe, things could change someday. But for now, all he has is another day.